Hello, my name's Alan Rogers, and this is my story. It starts when I was 8. I was burned. 80% of my body had gotten burned as a result of having a pretty crappy father, which was always really abusive. On my 8th birthday, he smoked some marijuana with me and left me home alone. I wound up being padlocked in the house and burned from being so intoxicated. I went to go get me a glass of milk, and it turned out to not be milk. It turned out to be gas. I wound up huffing it because I remember my cousins had done that, and they had showed me that as a kid. But anyway, the house had blown up, and I wound up spending 3 years in Children's Hospital recovering from the incident, which I would have to say was probably the longest 3 years of my life that I've ever spent. Stuff like that can be really tragic, you know. Being in the hospital in that condition and then being able to see other children in that condition is more than what most people could handle, you know, seeing on their own. But even after I got burned, even though it was my father's fault, I mean, even after I'd spent 3 years in the hospital and got out, he still beat me every day, and beat me bad. Even though I'd went through many of surgeries, I would still have to deal with his abusiveness. I can remember a couple of times where he really didn't even want to take care of me when I was going through my surgeries, and I'd gotten gangrene, and it was so bad that you could smell me in the living room, and I almost lost my leg over that one. I was raised around him most of my life, and he was on drugs and a really bad alcoholic. He was a bad alcoholic, and he had drug issues as well. Living like that is really hard. But anyway, on top of dealing with an extremely abusive father and being burned, there's been an awful lot that's happened in my life other than being, you know, these things. I've went from having my neck broke twice to being shot. I've been stabbed. My biological father was, even after being burnt, there was another incident that was his fault, and he was drunk and ran me over with his pickup truck. So, you know, just living with him was a task all on its own. But yeah, the hospital incident, you know, was pretty bad. 3 years is a long time for a child to have to spend in a hospital. They had to drill holes in my ankles. They had to drill holes in my knees and put bolts in them and hang me in the air so my body wouldn't touch the bed because of the skin grafts that I've had to go through. I've been in from Children's Hospital to the Shriners, they've sent me to specialists in other states when I was a kid, but I'm not really familiar with those. I have a problem with the memory because of the fire. It unfortunately, caused some brain issues, but yeah, it's really been a hard road. Skin grafts after skin grafts, and now I'm at the point to where I've got scoliosis pretty bad, on top of my organs being squished. My right leg got burned really pretty bad. It was burned all the way to the bone, to the point where they were going to completely amputate it. I got gangrene in it a couple of times. I'm sorry, people. This is a little hard to talk about. I'm not used to talking to people either. But I'd suffered a lot. My growth plates and all that got messed up, and bones were twisted, and I died 3 times during the process of trying to be saved from being burned. I wasn't even supposed to make it to 21, and now I'm in my 40s. But back to what I was saying was I suffer from a lot of medical conditions. I've got COPD and emphysema, scoliosis, degenerative disc disease, arthritis, bulging discs, tendinitis. I'm sorry, what? And then I got severe periodontal, where half of my jaw is gone, and it's just keeps adding up. And as a father, this has been really hard, not being able to take my kids anywhere or do nothing. And as a husband, I haven't been able to be the best husband I can be. The lack of mobility and the stuck in the home, seeing the same 4 walls, and not being able to make a life for myself has just been really hard. I don't know. Just kind of spent a lot of my life hoping there would be somebody out there that could help, make a difference. Don't have no family. Well, we do have family, but they're either on drugs or just I don't know where.
Close to them.
I know there's got to be hope out there somewhere. Somewhere. Just really sucks because my goal in life was to have kids and to be the best person I could be and do something with my family. And at this point, the only thing that really bothers me is I can't guarantee my children's future or nothing. As a father, you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to help your children and buy them things and go do things with them. And we've been robbed of that.